Hey, welcome back. I was wondering when I'd see you in here again. How did you enjoy your Fortress bug deck? Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, well, what brings you in? Looking for another custom deck, huh? All right, well, you came to the right place. It's my favorite thing to do after all, so I'm so glad to see you again. Yeah, so, what kind of deck are you looking for today? Are you looking for something similar to what you bought last time, or are you looking for something different? Something a little different, okay. Do you want me to make some suggestions, or do you have something specific in mind? And knowing you, I'm sure you have a very focused plan on what you are looking for. Exactly. Okay. So, last time, if I do recall, you stayed primarily in the Neo series of cards. You dabbled a little bit in a couple of the different Neo. I believe maybe you had some Neo Genesis and Neo Discovery. So, what era of cards are you looking for? You want to go further back, or kind of stay, a little newer, or in that similar kind of series of cards? Okay, go back a little bit. All right, are we talking all the way back as far as base set 2, Rocket, or somewhere in between? Okay, so you want to do some gym challenge and gym heroes cards. All right, great. Any particular gym leader? That's a great set, by the way. It's one of my favorites. It was so different and unique at the time. It was the first time we really saw a card with that much, variety on it, and the artwork was so unique to that era. Okay, Giovanni. Do we have a Team Rocket member on our hands? Great. No, Giovanni has some of the best cards in that set. So I believe that's Gym Challenge, correct? I don't think there are any Giovanni cards in Gym Heroes. So we'll stay exclusively, I guess, in Gym Challenge. Are you wanting to mix anything other than Giovanni, or just Giovanni's Pokemon? All right, just Giovanni's. All right. I like getting those specific type of decks that really stay in a particular genre or vibe, So this is going to be great. Okay, so are you wanting something similar to last time? Kind of a theme deck build, but something usable and kind of casual? Or something else, maybe a showpiece, something maybe a little more rare, something for looks? Okay, a bit of a showpiece. Perfect. Oh, okay, you want to stay exclusively vintage items today. Perfect. Now, I do have to forewarn you, this might be a little bit more expensive than what you purchased last time. Is that okay with you? The vintage cards and vintage items, I'm assuming you want to go all the way from coins to damage counters, everything. Okay. All right. I have an idea that I think you're going to like. If you want to stay vintage, I can go all the way with that. All right, let's do that. I'm going to grab your cards real quick like last time. I'm going to pick some Giovanni specific cards, and I'll bring them and let you look through them really quick. How does that sound? All right, perfect. Give me 1 second. All right, I've got your cards right here. I'm going to go through and organize them and show you by evolution, and then we'll get to your energies and trainers, okay? All right, so first up, I have your Giovanni's Machop. As you can see there, we have that nice, great artwork and the Giovanni logo at the top and the trainer emblem at the bottom. And you can see what's really cool about these cards is you can see the badge right behind the Giovanni portrait there. So we have several Machops here, kind of your entry-level Pokemon. And these are common, of course. You have 4 of those to get you started, and then 2 Giovanni Machokes, rather. I did not choose to go all the way up to Giovanni's Machamp, although that card is fantastic. I thought we'd go a little bit different direction since you wanted that vintage look. So we have 2 of these uncommon cards right here, as you can see. Okay, next up, this one gets a little bit more advanced. We have your common Nidoran female, a classic Giovanni card. We have just a few of these to get you started in that deck, 4 to be exact, and then we move on to Nidorana female, which is an uncommon, of course. We have your classic 2 of those cards, and then your first non-holo rare being Giovanni's Nidoqueen. Great card and really fits that classic Giovanni style. Next up, and you're gonna love this. So we have Giovanni's Nidoran male. If you're gonna have one in a Giovanni deck, you might as well have both. So we have several of those, 4 again to get you started. All right, and then we have Nidorano classic card as well. Nidorino, I'm sorry, I pronounced that very strangely. And then your first holo. Now, look at that artwork. Look at that. Look at that holofoil, that perfect galaxy swirls. This was the classic holofoil at the time. I know they've had a lot of varied varieties here, but you have that really intimidating look on Nidoking right there, Giovanni's Nidoking. A little different than the Nidoqueen, as you can see. They went with the holofoil version. There is not actually a holofoil version of Nidoqueen, however, unfortunately. But great aesthetic so far. How is this going so far? Do you like the cards we have, or should I adapt this before I continue? These are great. Okay, perfect. So next up, we have a little standalone rare card. I thought I would go with the Giovanni's Pincer. I think it's just nice to have that quick hitting, powerful basic card that you can get right into the action with. Gives you a little bit of variability with your play style, but also just a fantastic, intimidating Giovanni card. So we have Giovanni's Pincer, and as you can see, we have a nice fighting and grass energy type deck so far, but I have a little bit of a curveball coming up for you, so stay with me. I have said curveball. I went ahead and threw in a water type card here. I thought, being the 8th gym leader in the classic Kanto Pokemon Adventure, I thought we might delve a little bit more into the complicated, slightly playstyle here. If to give that Giovanni kind of intense switch up, as Giovanni's known to have in the games, and he's just the boss of Team Rocket. I feel like we want to really make him stand out. So we have Giovanni's Magikarp. So I think that might both surprise and impress any opponents or friends that you are enjoying this deck with. So to pair nicely with the Giovanni's Magikarp, we have, and look at that, your second holofoil, Giovanni's Gyarados. Now, this is a fantastic card. We have the classic Gyarados art style here in his simple but elegant positioning on the portrait there, and then a fantastic holofoil. Great, yes. And as you can see already, I went a little bit more flashy with this deck. I know in our last deck we went for the strict theme deck style with the single holofoil fortress, but since this is, you said, a little bit of a display piece, I wanted to make sure you had a little added flair there to ensure that you impress those who are looking at it, or if you just want to still battle with it, you can switch out a couple of these holofoils. I'll include a few extra cards other than the 60 card deck limit in the form of some free energies and trainers that I'll throw in there. That will allow you to mix and match some of these cards and have it curtailed to your play style. So with that said, I have one more surprise. It would not be a Giovanni deck especially a vintage deck without the Meowth. Now, this Meowth actually has one variant Meowth in there as well. So this Meowth gets you a little quicker start with the 2 energy requirement instead of the 3 for the secondary Meowth. Now, I included both of these just because I thought since they both are from the Gym Challenge set, it's just nice once again for that added flair for a nice showpiece to really, surprise people with multiple different Meowths. So we have Giovanni's Meowth right there, and I would not forget this card with this kind of deck, Giovanni's Persian. Now, this is the classic Giovanni style card that you can come to expect. Now, what I like about this card, if you can see here in the art style, we have, or in the art portion of the card, we have a nice pillar here representing that strong and regal Viridian City kind of architecture that you see in the anime. It kind of has those Greek pillar styles that kind of matches the way Giovanni operates his gym. So we have a great Persian, nice, just similar to the Gyarados, subtly smaller in the frame of the artwork here, and really allowing that holofoil to pop, which I think is quite nice. So Giovanni's Persian, as you can see, you have 3 holofoils. So once again, and 2 non-holo rares. Once again, you can mix and match these or play with all of the rare cards here. Like I said, since you are going the slightly more expensive route for a vintage deck, I figured we would lean into that and really make sure that you got your money's worth and really got a deck that is going to wow people and really be enjoyable to not only look at on a display case, perhaps something like this, or just while you're flipping through the cards. So with that said, we have your variety of trainer cards here. So we have different kind of gym and stadium. So your classic Viridian City gym, as you can see there. And just, I added some extras in here, full heals, bill, energy removal, that you can mix and match and kind of customize to your liking. So your trainer cards. And then, as you would expect, a decent amount of fighting, grass, and just a quaint amount of water energies, since we do have only 5 total water energy type cards. So, is this arrangement of Pokemon trainers and energy types, will this suffice for what you're looking for today? Or I do not mind at all to change up some of these, maybe add a couple other classic Giovanni Pokemon. What I went for here are the really hard hitters for Giovanni's, lore and his appearances in the game and anime. So I went for, obviously, the Nidoking, Nidoqueen combo, followed by the Gyarados, which I think is a really classic, powerful Team Rocket intimidating Pokemon. And then the absolute staple, Giovanni's Persian. What do you think? Great. All right. We'll leave it as is then, and we'll move on to the fun part, which is the rest of the peripherals that go along with your deck. Okay. Now, this is where I have the surprise for you. Last time we went with our premium deck box, but since you wanted to go in with the really vintage type of deck, I have a very vintage type look for you in that aspect as well. So let me grab your stuff here. I have the classic and very vintage Giovanni theme deck box. Now, while this is not the exact deck list that may have went with the theme deck, I went for almost exactly the list, but a few extras. This, if you're going to make a vintage style Giovanni deck, then why not go with the Giovanni deck box? This is the retail box that came with the Giovanni theme deck back in I believe 2000 when this set came out. And as you can see, it has that great Ken Sugimori artwork on the front with the ever intimidating Giovanni and Persian right here, and it gives you a nice sneak peek of the Persian that you have in your deck, and lets you know when you're displaying this, and whoever you are using this to play against, know that, hey, this is a Giovanni themed deck, and not only has the best Giovanni cards, but really has that Giovanni vibe and Team Rocket vibe that you're looking for. On the back, it has a preview of all of the things that previously came packaged in the retail version of this when you bought this new in the store, and it gives you a nice little bio about the Viridian City Gym and Giovanni himself, as well as some other Pokemon related information. Once again, this is in very pristine condition and is very authentic, and a really nice showpiece that I think is going to be rare to find elsewhere. Will this work? Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since I know now that you would prefer to go with this extremely true to character vintage box, I'm going to really make sure that you have the full package here. So I'm going to try to replicate the exact retail version of this box to the best of my ability, because I have many things that go along with this box that's really going to pull it together. Okay, so for damage counters, like last time we went for the dice, this time purely vintage. I have the original 2000s Wizard of the Coast 10 damage counters. Now, these are the types of damage counters that came inside these theme decks at the time, both Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge. And as you can see, you simply pop these out, and then you can keep them inside the deck box. So once again, on the back, you can see that there are the damage counters, and this is indeed the exact set of damage counters that came along with this. So how neat is that? That not only will you get a great Giovanni themed deck, but you will have the exact damage counters that came with the Giovanni deck back in the early 2000s, late 90s. So this will not only be a great conversation starter, but really give you that nostalgic kick when you decide to use this deck, or just, display it and view it at your pleasure. So will these damage counters fulfill what you are looking for? Excellent. Okay, I will set those to the side. All right, to go along with those, we need to get to your coin, and as you can probably guess, we're going to stick with the retail version coin, which I have right here. As you can see, we have a nice hollow foil Alakazam coin. There were two coins that came with these decks. You had a Starmie coin that came with half of the gym decks, and a Alakazam coin that came with the other half. Although they don't perfectly match the theme of each deck, this is the authentic coin that came with this particular deck. And as you can see, it is trademarked with the 2000 date on the back, which is quite nice. Will this coin work for you? Excellent. And we will package that up nicely for you. That way you have that perfect retail feel when you pop this deck open. Our goal here is, with this type of deck, for you to get that authentic feel every time you open the deck box, and you kind of relive that moment of buying these types of items back at that time. Now, to go along with that, our last step are these wonderful booklets that came within these decks at the time. So first is the Advanced Rulebook version 3. This has just your basic rules for the card game. This is great for anyone who you would like to maybe teach the Pokemon card game, and also give them the idea of what this was like to play at the time. There are those two coins that I referenced right there. So not only do you get to teach people the game, but you get to really stay authentic to that early 2000s feel. As you can see, wonderful artwork, just great to look through sometimes, and also very usable. It has multiple information about the cards and a variety of things that a beginner would like to know when they are playing the game. So that comes with your deck right here. Once again, all authentically packaged. We have the deck list or the card list for this era of cards. And what's really fantastic about this has a full list of cards that comes in all of the Gym Leader theme decks, as well as a lot of the other decks at the time. As you can see right here on the back, it has not only the theme decks for the Gym series, but it also has the Team Rocket sets here. Which is great because you can, if you'd like to build some of these decks on your own or come back another time and have additional cards built or decks built, you will know exactly what cards to ask for and perhaps swap out when you come back in. It also has on the back a full checklist that you can mark off every card that you collect in the set. Now, I do have to advise that you not actually mark in this particular booklet because, once again, vintage, this is quite rare and hard to find in this quality. So I would preserve this if I were you, but great to have a mental checklist and collect your cards. So here is your full collection of items that will go inside your Giovanni deck. Are there any other items that you would like to add? Because this is the exact, for the most part, besides the additional cards, the exact retail collection that would have came in this deck box. So you have really chosen a really unique and exciting item here that I think you're going to really enjoy and is going to really wow those people that that you host or play against at tournaments or friendly events. Okay, great. Now, since you have been such a wonderful repeat customer, I like to make sure that I keep any customers that share this similar passion and really enjoy what we do here. I like to make sure that you're well taken care of. So I do have a gift for you. This is on the house. It's no extra cost. It does, of course, go with your Giovanni theme. I thought of it immediately as soon as you said I wanted that you wanted a Giovanni deck. So I have a quick surprise for you. I do hope you enjoy it. This will not be playable with the deck, but will be great to display. Your very own Giovanni's Tyranitar. Now, I understand that this is a Generation 2 card. As you can see, I've added a protective case. We have a great Galaxy-style holo foil and a dark type. Obviously, there is no dark type energy, unfortunately, in Generation 1, but this is just a nice showpiece and a very rare and unique card that I think will be quite the conversation starter. As you can see, it has your classic Giovanni emblem with the badge at the bottom and your attacks and that wonderful striking black card with wonderful artwork. So this is a gift from the TCG Store to you for your continued patronage. Let's go ahead and get you boxed up and on your way. So what I will do first is I will get all of your cards with a nice plastic wrapping on them, exactly how they would be unwrapped when you bought these retail. Once again, we want to really replicate that experience for you. That's kind of part of the TCG Store experience itself, is replicating that fun and exciting nature of buying these cards at their original time. Once again, we will place Giovanni's Persian on top. That's how they usually came in the packaging. So bear with me here. I will get these all put in. Okay, so this is very similar to what it would have looked like when you opened the deck box originally back at retail. You would have had these cards wrapped just like so with your prize card on top. These theme decks always came with one guaranteed holo foil, and this is the first thing you would see when you opened that wonderful box. So we will place this in this nice box. Okay. Now we need to add in your damage counters. We need to slide in your rule book. your card list, your coin, and your gift, Giovanni's Tyranitar. Please enjoy. And now you have a full, complete, retail, authentic Giovanni's theme deck. Now, as you can perfectly hear, there's no better sound than a full, to the brim with nostalgic goodness theme deck. Now, I very much hope that you have enjoyed your experience today, and I really look forward to doing a lot more business together. I think that, well, I would say I would be surprised if this is your last visit. I can tell that you enjoy this type of thing as much as I do too. So please consider coming back in anytime. We have so many options we can go through here today. I have so many different cards and series and decks and items that I think you would be absolutely thrilled with. So please don't hesitate to come in anytime. Ask for me at the front and we'll go through it all over again. Perfect. You can take your deck to the front and they will see you about your way. All right. Have a great evening.